Hey, welcome to Common Comic Covers, issue number 33, an appreciation podcast for non-key comics. I'm Jeremy, and across from me is Andy, and I'm going to do my best to talk a lot so that the camera never switches over to him.
Hello,
and
I'm
the
Andy.
faces that he is making.
I enjoy trying to make Jeremy break in the intro. It's unprofessional.
And you even said you weren't going to do it this time.
I know, but I just had such a good double chin. I couldn't help but hold it. I was like, I got to do this, really roll this one in.
Perfect. Well, the big theme for you this week is SummerCon, which was last weekend from when we're recording this, and that is a big comic convention in Puyallup, right? The State Fairgrounds.
Yeah. So we live north of Seattle, and that's like,
Tell us more. Great.
Tacoma.
We all have a map.
Yeah.
Tell us. I've never been to it. Give me a 30-second definition of SummerCon.
SummerCon,
sell it to me. Why am I driving over to Puyallup, Washington next year?
It has a lot of space. It is they get fantastic guests. I saw like a lot of the Star Trek Next Generation cast. They were there. I was able to walk up to Michael Dorn, who plays Worf, and he had one person in line, and I was like, you know what, I just wanted to say, and he was dealing with the person that collects money and stuff. I just wanted to say I appreciated what you did and how I loved that show growing up. And he's like, okay, great. And I was like, I just wanted to say that and have that interaction with you and let that be.
Similar to your David Mack story, it sounds like.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's how I treat creators. I guess is like I'm just like I want to put some good into the world and like let them know that like they're appreciated. Not because I don't know how much they hear that from fans or if they're just because I don't know.
Okay, so you've used about 20 of your 30 seconds talking about Worf.
Yes, that was cool.
That's not getting me over there yet, though. That's cool. Very cool.
Okay.
I loved that show growing up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of space, and Star Trek: The Next Generation is there. What else?
Yeah. So
are there a lot of booths, like a lot of comic book booths?
Yeah, there's a lot of comic book booths. Yeah, there's a lot, and there's a variety of stuff, and then there's like a good creators alley, and it.
So this is rivaling Emerald City Comic Con.
I think.
Is it different? How is it different?
It feels different. It feels less, like, how you feel at Emerald City is like you're kind of like you're like sardines, and you're just like thing is full, and you can't. So that's why I said there's bigger. It's more space. It feels like there's room to be a comic fan, and you don't have to compete and elbow, and
how much did it set you back to get in?
It wasn't bad. I don't remember because we bought it really far in advance, but it was like you could get a family package. So I think it was like maybe $50 for the whole family.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and free parking, and it's.
Do you get to see? Are there like pigs and horses since you're at the fairgrounds?
No, they're not. But you go in areas where they keep those animals, and they have like the big. You have the big
discount comics.
That's when they had like Data and Worf and Crusher all up on the stage talking, and then some young guy from Star Trek, newer Star Trek. But
well, that's exciting. You're going to show us some of your findings.
Yeah. I have a common cover.
Yeah, let's start with your common cover.
Okay.
How about we do this? Let's do this. I'm going to share my common cover, and then you could share yours, and then go into some of your spoils. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a fun one. I don't know if this is common, but you've done this before too.
Yeah.
So this is Captain America number 14 from the Ed Brubaker 2004 series. This is, I think, one of your favorite covers.
That's one of my favorite covers. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go fast. There's a good story behind this. So I owned this originally when it right about when I actually first started collecting comic books. This was the first series that I started collecting. Like, I grabbed it every month. I started with like issue 15 or something. So I had to have a comic book shop order me this. I paid like $6 for it. And then 10 years ago, when I sold half my collection, it did not make the final cut. So about a month ago, no, probably longer than that, I found it on eBay, decent price, bought it. They sent me the wrong book.
Oh no.
It was actually a book in the same run of Captain America. It was actually more valuable. I can't remember which one it was. So they like
Number
reached
6?
out. I think it was, yeah.
The first Winter Soldier.
No, it was after. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But it was one that's worth more. They reached out and they're like, "Hey, we sent you the wrong book, and the guy that ordered we sent him your book. You got his book." And I'm like, "Cool." So I sent it back. They paid for the shipping to send it back. They were totally good.
Yeah.
I swear, like 3 weeks went by, nothing. So finally, I'm like, "Hey, I'm feeling a little like,
yeah,
I got
where's my book?"
Yeah, I got host here. And they're like, they reach out right away, like, no, that's not our style. They're like, he hasn't sent the book back yet. And they said the same thing, like his book was worth more than your book, and he hasn't sent it back yet. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Let's just go for a refund. And they're like, yep, totally. Let's do a refund. And then not an hour later, like this all happened the same day. And I'm gonna take it as truth.
Yeah.
So about an hour later, they're like, "Hey, are you okay? We found one. Are you okay if it's autographed?" They're like, "We were just going through, we have thousands of comic books, and I just opened a box, and this was in there, and it's autographed by Steve Epting."
That's awesome.
That's who did the cover. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So a couple of days later, this showed up. It's I guess karma. I was nice to them. I was like, "Hey, no worries. I get it. Give me the refund. Not a problem." And now I have a copy, and I love having a signed copy by Steve Epting.
Yeah.
So there's my story, and there's my common cover. Captain America, number 14, Ed Brubaker, Steve Epting, a beautiful Golden Age-esque cover.
Yeah.
And this is a great run. What do you have?
I love that the placement of that autograph. That is a great spot. I think Brubaker signed mine, and it's like not as, I think it's in silver, and
I think Brubaker signed yours when he signed my number 1.
Yeah.
Which I did not sell. All right. What is your SummerCon common comic cover?
Okay, so this is the one that my wife got me. She went to Comic-Con twice, and I only went once. So I finally got it. Oh man, my camera's not adjusted for this. There we go. Oh boy. Sorry, folks. This is Gen 13 Bootleg number 18. This is a Bruce Timm cover, and it is the most valuable book in the run by far, and it is beautiful and hilarious. She's dumping ice down his shorts. It's just, I love it. And so I gave this my wife my pull list, and she looked, and this is the one she was able to find. So she got it for me, and it was like more than I wanted to pay, but it was like within like a normal amount. And I was like, "You should have negotiated." And she's like, "I know, but I didn't feel like I had any." It's like, "No, you just say, would you take 50 instead of 60 or whatever?"
And if you're a listener of this show, tell the audience where you got the book. It was at SummerCon.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
What booth?
Yeah, it was Giant Nerd Books, Jeremy's place.
Yes, they were at SummerCon.
Yeah, and then I talked to him 2 days later, and he remembered my wife, and I was like, I told her to haggle, and she didn't. And he's like, "Oh, I'll make it up. Your kids can take a couple books from the $2 bin," and so I helped them pick some neater books, I thought. So
that's awesome.
All
right. What else? What are some of your other findings?
So I will start with this is going to be the theme of like how great the creators are that came to this convention. This is G.I. Joe 207. Yeah, 207. And it came out in this last month, June of 24. The inker, Tony Cordso. I practice these names, and then when I get to it, I just forget.
Kordos.
Kordos. K-O R-D-S. Yeah.
It's on the front of the book there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Great. Yes. And he is Kordos.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, he signed this book. First of all, we're talking to him, and my daughter goes, what are you doing? And he was inking pages for a comic book. He's like, well, why don't you come around here and I'll show you? And she comes around and he's talking to her. They're asking questions, just interacting. 15 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't know. It was a long time. I was like, wow, this is a lot of time. And I was like, thank you so much, man, for like doing that. That was so cool that you just invited my daughter back there and talked to her. And it was really great. And he's like, then he shared his experience about how his daughter really found a home at doing Comic-Cons and really helped her emotionally and getting used to society is kind of how his conversation went. It was really touching.
That's so cool. And that's a beautiful cover.
Yeah. And so this is like, I think it was it was a $3.99 book, and I think I bought it for $4.99, and he signed it. So he signed it.
And he's the inker.
He's the inker. Yeah. And this is mostly the inker. There's a colored version, but he brought the ones where it was mostly his inking.
It just goes to show you, Dave Stevens, Wally Wood, those guys cut their teeth on inking, and you forget or you don't realize necessarily how important inkers are and how it's its own aspect of the art.
Yeah. And I asked him about like pencils. He's like, I don't like doing the pencils. Like, I would rather do the inking. I was like, okay. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah. So this guy,
inkers kind of make or break it. There's some horrible inkers that ruin drawings, ruin pencils.
Exactly. So then my daughter, me and my daughter were looking for the artist Agnes Garbowska. Okay. And she does My Little Pony. She was an artist from My Little Pony. And my daughter reads and rereads and reads the latest My Little Pony books. So we found this. She was selling a little My Little Pony thing.
That is adorable.
It was adorable. Little $30 thing.
That's an original or a print?
Yes, it's an original.
That's so cool.
And then she also did a bust of my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then she did this live recording of it and then sent it to me. So I have a video of her, sketching this stuff out. And then I was like, are these original art pages? And they're like, oh, yes. So they had these for sale too. This is, oh boy, my stance too. So this is from My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic number 46.
Okay.
And
did I just become a My Little Pony fan?
Yeah, and then she signed these. I think so. And then this right here. This is from the same book, 47.
He said those were $50.
So this was like, I think for the 2 pages combined, I paid $140, I think.
That's awesome.
But the experience to be able to, like, my daughter was so happy to be able to, like, the My Little Pony artist, and just and that was the best part of Comic-Con for me. I got books, I got stuff, but man, that, like,
seeing your kids kind of fall in love with some things like that, and then seeing the adults
help
respond to it. It's awesome.
It was really, I panicked for a little bit, a minute, because she's like, because my daughter was dressed up like Spider-Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
And Agnes had asked her, like, do you want me to draw you with what you have on now or something different? And she's like, something different. What would you like? She's like, and like she has like it's 20 minutes before she has to leave for the airport, and there's someone else in line that she's gonna try to help. And so she's like, I'm like, but she's like, well, would you like some wings? Like, I can't remember the pony's name, Rarity or Twilight Sparkle. One of the two. I don't know. She likes a lot of the My Little Ponies, and so she drew with little wings, and then there's all these sparkles and stuff.
I like it.
Yeah. So that was my dog and pony show. It was.
Sorry to interrupt. Are there more drawings behind you? Are those coming later?
So yeah, I mean, this is. So I've been.
You have lots of new swag back there.
Yeah, this is just like I bought something from Cheddar Comics, and he like did a little art, and then this is just little comic book vendors. They give you little knickknacks, and I've decided I can put them up behind me.
Okay, gotcha.
I might edit that out.
I'll put some stuff on my shelf.
Yeah.
Okay, is that
what's yours?
You got more, but you're.
No, that's
it for now.
Yeah.
That's it for now. You know, I'm going to just take us on a fun little trip, if that's okay. I'll try to go fast. But I was thinking, okay, what do I want to share? I really liked your walk through Batman a little bit. Last issue.
Thank you.
And so this issue, kind of going back to, again, when I first started collecting, and here's a great example. When I collected baseball cards, I collected Gaylord Perry.
Okay. Why? Spitball.
Yeah.
Old spitball.
Yeah, old spitball. You know, he was in the Hall of Fame. And
Mariner.
And his rookie card was really cheap.
Oh, okay.
And that's what my uncle's advice was like, I collect guys that, you know, their cards are really affordable and they're in the Hall of Fame. So I have a slew of Raleigh Fingers, Phil Nico, and Gaylord Perry. So that has come with me into comic book collecting. So early on, and you knew this, I collected the Spector.
Yeah.
And I have almost the full run of just his first series 1. So he was originally in Showcase Presents and a few other I think it was Strange Adventures.
Yeah.
But his first solo run, 10 issues. I have 8 of the 10 issues. And what they're really cool covers. I've read them all, so stories, but they're a little bit of a who's who of DC Comics from the 1960s. So 1967 and 1969. Number 1, Gardner Fox.
Oh, yeah.
And Murph Anderson. Number 2, Gardner Fox writes it. Neil Adams on the cover. Mike Friedrich, Neil Adams. And then number 4 is kind of a special one. This is drawn and written by Neil Adams.
Okay.
So he had done a few like Archie stories. You know, there's 10 different stories in those old Archie books. This is one of his first, Neil Adams' first full story rights. Neil stuck to drawing for a reason. Number 5 is also Neil, written and drawn. Number 6, back to Gardner Fox, and then the artist is Grandinetti.
Okay.
And then this is add Murph Anderson to that. And then the last one I have is Steve Skeets, but the cover, I don't have 9 and 10, but 8, 9, and 10, the covers are Nick Cardy.
Oh, yeah. I like Nick Cardy.
Yeah, Nick Cardy started in the Golden Age, did a ton of Aquaman, Teen Titans, a lot of DC stuff, but pretty popular Golden Age comic book guy. So I don't know. Again, it's one of those things where if you want cool books that are affordable, and I mean, these are pieces of art. I know we didn't have a ton of time, but you can go back through there. They're great covers, and you can get every single one of them in decent condition for less than $20.
Okay, Jeremy, I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
This is your either or. Which book? If these are books for the same price, which
are these new ones? Or are we back? Are we in the semifinals now?
These are still new.
Okay, we're at quarterfinals, semifinals.
No, and I reshuffled things around. I was like, I reshuffled them, so I felt I didn't want to put any. I looked at it like I think this is gonna be the.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay, so this is the first one. Now, this is the 8th seed here.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yep.
this is-
First appearance of Deadpool. Okay.
Yep.
We've all seen it. Very famous.
All seen it. And then we have this one.
Oh,
Yeah. So this is the 1 seed. This is the 8 seed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you offer me a 9.8 first appearance of Deadpool and a 1.0 first appearance of Ninja Turtles. I'm taking a 1.0 Ninja Turtles.
So I guess here's the question. What about, so I personally, for me, I want this book, but like a 3rd print. I think that's where I want to be at. I have a 4th print.
What's wrong with the first print?
What's wrong with the first print?
Yeah, why don't you want first print?
Well, I mean, I do, but
okay.
I like having a car.
Well, you made it sound like no.
I mean, like I have a 4th print, but I'd like to get up into the 3rd print because the 3rd print is still pretty scarce, and yeah, but they're not. It's not.
Yeah.
As expensive.
Well,
so.
I'm going first print all the way.
You should. Okay, yeah. So we're both on board. Ninja Turtles.
This is an easy one. First appearance of Ninja Turtles versus first appearance of Deadpool.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you the next week's one because that's gonna be rough.
Okay.
It's gonna be Bone number 1 versus Albedo number 2. So you will have a little time to think about that.
Okay. Ooh, those are good.
Yeah,
that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, if you're still watching, subscribe. Put a comment in the comments. Which one are you taking? You take a Deadpool? You take a Ninja Turtles? And what do you think of SummerCon?
And as Ringo Starr says, peace and love, peace and love.